10 seconds and I'm going to ask for a check.
All right, what do we, you want a sound check?
Yes, give me 10 seconds to put it on the thing, then I'm gonna shout out to you.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Sound check. Here we go. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, Mike. Mic check. Checking the mic. We got to check on this. Are we ready to go? We good? And up.
About 15 more seconds.
All right, and should I just go? Count 15 and go?
Yep.
All right. Hey y'all, this is Mark G. Abolitionist on the air with you at KEXU 96.1 FM LP Revolution Radio, where we explore the connection between imperial war and incarceration. I don't limit myself to being a prison abolitionist because there are more structures and institutions that I seek to abolish than just incarceration. For example, white supremacy and racism, two different things. Male supremacy and patriarchy, two different things. Class supremacy and wage oppression, two different things. And imperial war. Yes, imperial war is an institution of the American Empire. Let me be very clear. The United States military is an institution of the American Empire, as we all know. However, it serves the institution of imperial war. Let me be very clear. The need for imperial conquest shapes and defines the United States military. In fact, the European settler need for conquest of Indian land made the development of a military necessary. Any and all who opposed were imprisoned or killed. The first reservations were in fact prisons. Currently, in this day and age, the Gaza Strip in Palestine is the largest open-air prison in the world. I'm going to talk about Vietnam. Y'all make sure you also hear Afghanistan, Iraq, Palestine, and any and every inner city in America. He was a 9 or 10-year-old boy begging for food on the side of the road like hundreds of others. I was riding shotgun in a truck. I was the one with the gun. The driver crushed his skull with a can of cigarettes. I was cruising at 1,500 feet, keeping my mind and body clear and cool. The hellbound fool, mindful if you will. And that chopper landed for few. 5 men got on. 3 groups, 2 Americans, 2 groups tied up right. When we got up oh so high, 2 groups don't talk. They flew one in the sky. There are things that happened in Vietnam. There are experiences that I had in Vietnam that I find I can really only express in poetry and spoken word. Thank you for bearing with me in this. Today, I want to discuss male supremacy and patriarchy. I think they are 2 different things. I'm going to give you the definitions that I use, and then we'll just touch briefly on our discussion in the time we have allotted today. And in the next few weeks, with each episode of the show, I'll go into greater detail discussing male supremacy and patriarchy, as I did in discussing white supremacy and racism. Male supremacy is a hierarchical system of organization among men, such that all power and wealth flow to men. Patriarchy is an ideological philosophy that justifies, supports, and maintains male supremacist organization through the subjugation, oppression, and punishment of women and girls. I don't think you'll find these definitions in the dictionary anywhere. These definitions come out of struggle, come out of interacting with capitalism, imperialism, dealing with the empire, trying to come to terms with the impediments and the things that prevent us from coming together and succeeding in our struggle. It's the patriarchy, the actions that we men participate in, the actions that we men take that create the oppression and the subjugation of women and girls. And it's through these actions that we function in the male supremacist organizational structure. I had an experience in Vietnam that I think expresses the depth and the brutality that we as men employ against women and girls. We understand rape culture exists. Rape exists. There's a culture that creates the actual actions of rape. This is in the extreme cases of the application of patriarchal thinking and action. I'm going to relate the story dealing with Vietnam. It's rough, it's brutal. I hope I don't offend anyone. I don't mean any offense. But I feel a real need to get to the root, to deal with the depths of the horrors of the patriarchy. They said they found her in a hole in the ground. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. We didn't talk about these things. Why were they? They said they found her in a hole in the ground and they pulled her out. The hair all over my body began to tingle. We didn't talk about these things. Why were they? They said they found her in a hole in the ground and they pulled her out and they stripped her clothes off. I felt my skin move. We didn't talk about these things. Why were they? Why did I have to hear this story? They said they found her in a hole in the ground and they pulled her out and they stripped her clothes off and they tied her spread eagle upside down on the front of the armored personnel carrier, and I felt my skin crawl. We didn't talk about these things. Why were they? Why did I have to hear this story? They said they found her in a hole in the ground and they pulled her out and they stripped her clothes off and they tied her spread eagle upside down on the front of the armored personnel carrier, and they cut a sapling and they shoved it in her vagina and they loaded up and they had it. What terror! What terror, I say, had they experienced that drove them to tell of their deed? Had she somehow taken their souls? No. No, their souls were gone long before they found her in that hole in the ground. My soul split when that little boy got his skull crushed. I've reflected on this some in the years since. I don't think she screamed. When they pierced her body and split her open, I don't think she screamed. Her silence, too much to be endured. They went mad. Y'all find this stuff hard to believe? Think of all the women that get the crap beat out of them every day. More on Super Bowl Sunday than any other day of the year in America. Think of all the women that get the crap beat out of them every day and never say a word. Y'all don't know any? Ask your neighbor, the woman next door. She does. We learn to carry out these kinds of actions from the time we're little boys. We interact in our society. We interact with women and girls. And we develop a brutality that is immeasurable. I want y'all to reflect on your time on the playground when you were in elementary school. And that when a boy was being verbally attacked or being verbally put down, he would be compared to a girl. Remember? You swing like a girl, you hit like a girl, you kick like a girl. These are all ways of degrading, denigrating, and eventually carrying out violence against women and girls. My daughter is about to be 51 years old. When she was in first grade in her elementary school, the little boys on the playground began pulling up the girls' skirts out on recess. The girls solved this problem by not wearing skirts anymore. They began to wear pants. I'm going to leave things there because my time is running out. I would hope y'all reflect on these things that I've said, and we'll go into greater detail. Again, I apologize for any upset that this has generated, but I think it's necessary for us to get into the real substance of what's really going on and how things exist in this world. In this world, not just in America, but in the world, a woman is raped every 10 seconds. So during the course of this broadcast, hundreds of women have been raped. It is we men who have responsibility in that, and it is we men who must put an end to that. This is Mark G. Abolitionist, getting ready to sign off with you all. In closing, I want to say, we are the ones we're waiting for. Y'all who are younger than me are definitely, you are the ones we're waiting for. We are the ones we're waiting for. Dare to struggle. Dare to win. I say, what's the call? Free them all. Dare to struggle. Dare to win. All power to the people. Ashe. Thank you. How long was that? 14.
Something this door better.